Awakening among stars. The ancient warship drifted silently through the void, its titanium alloy hull scarred by centuries of micrometeoroid impacts. To the scanning vessels of the Galactic Coalition, it appeared as little more than derelict space debris, another relic from a forgotten era. Their sensors, however, detected faint energy readings emanating from deep within the massive structure. Concordat Science Vessel Enlightenment to High Command. Sub-Commander Zixtol reported, his translucent appendages trembling with excitement. We've located what appears to be a capital-class warship of human origin. Preliminary dating suggests it's been adrift for approximately 300 standard cycles. The response from High Command came immediately. Proceed with caution. Humans have been extinct for centuries, but their technology remains dangerous. Send a boarding party with Class 4 containment protocols. Deep within the dormant vessel, automatic systems stirred to life. The ship, once the pride of the United Earth Space Forces, began its emergency revival sequence. In the central cryogenics bay, indicator lights switched from red to amber as the life support systems engage. Capsule 001 hissed open, releasing a cloud of vapor. Captain Maya Chen gasped as consciousness returned, her lungs burning as they filled with air for the first time in centuries. The neural interface plugged into her cerebral port immediately flooded her mind with status reports. "Phoenix," she croaked, her voice hoarse from disuse. Status report. The ship's AI responded immediately, its voice calm and measured. Captain Chen, the UEA's Phoenix has been adrift for 327 years, 4 months, and 16 days. Critical systems are operating at 68% efficiency. We have detected unknown vessels approaching. They appear to be scanning us. Maya's training kicked in despite the disorientation. Initiate Revival Protocol Alpha. Wake the command crew only. Maintain stealth systems and passive scanning. As the other cryopods in the command section began their revival sequences, Maya pulled herself to the nearest terminal. Her fingers, stiff and clumsy, danced across the holographic interface. The ship's external cameras revealed 3 alien vessels surrounding the Phoenix, their designs unlike anything in the ship's database. "What happened?" she whispered. "Where's Earth Fleet Command?" The AI's response chilled her to the core. "Captain, I regret to inform you that all attempts to contact Earth or any human colony have failed. Long-range scans of the Sol system indicate catastrophic changes to Earth's biosphere consistent with either massive nuclear exchange or planetary bombardment. Based on available data, I calculate a 97.3% probability that human civilization as we knew it has collapsed." Maya felt her legs weaken, but years of command training kept her upright. There would be time for grief later. For now, her ship and her crew needed her. Commander Jackson Davis, her executive officer, stumbled from his pod, his dark skin ashen from cryosleep. "Captain, what's our situation?" "Unknown vessels approaching, Jackson. Possibly first contact scenario." She didn't mention Earth. One crisis at a time. Within 30 minutes, the command crew of 12 was awake and at their stations. Chief Engineer Hiroshi Tanaka reported that the ship's revolutionary quantum drive was operational but low on power. Tactical Officer Layla Nasser confirmed that weapon systems were functional, but in need of calibration after centuries of dormancy. "Ma'am," Communications Officer Miguel Santos called out, his eyes fixed on his console. "We're being hailed. The signal contains translation algorithms I've never seen before." Maya straightened her uniform, a reflex action that seemed absurdly mundane given the circumstances. On screen. The view screen activated, revealing a being unlike anything Maya had ever seen. It had 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern on a bulbous head, with iridescent skin that shifted colors as it moved. "This is Sub-Commander Zixtol of the Galactic Coalition. You are aboard a vessel of unknown origin. Identify yourselves immediately." Maya stepped forward, her chin raised. "I am Captain Maya Chen of the United Earth ship Phoenix. We are on a deep space mission, and appear to have experienced technical difficulties. May I ask whom I'm addressing? The alien's eyes blinked in an unsynchronized pattern that Maya interpreted as surprise. Impossible. The human species has been extinct for over 3 centuries. A cold wave washed over Maya, but she maintained her composure. Clearly, that information is incorrect, Sub-Commander. My crew and I are very much alive. Hours later, Maya sat in the Phoenix's conference room across from a delegation of 3 different alien species. Sub-Commander Zixtal of the Quarians, Ambassador Threll, a massive reptilian from a species called the Vacteri, and Science Officer Elia, a slender, almost ethereal being from the Lemurians. You must understand our shock, Captain Chen, Elia said, her voice melodic. According to our historical records, the human homeworld was destroyed in a cataclysmic event 312 years ago. No human colony survived the subsequent resource wars. Maya exchanged glances with Jackson, who sat beside her. The Phoenix was launched as part of Operation Lifeboat. Earth had detected signals suggesting an advanced hostile force approaching our solar system. We were sent in different directions with cryogenically preserved crews, carrying the best of human technology and cultural records. A contingency plan, Threll rumbled, his scaled hide shifting as he leaned forward. Impressive foresight. How many other ships like yours were launched? Zixtal asked, all 4 eyes focused intently on Maya. That information is classified, Maya replied automatically, though in truth, she simply didn't know. The mission had been compartmentalized for security. Ambassador Threll's expression was unreadable, but his tone carried a hint of suspicion. Your vessel appears to be primarily military in design. The Concordat has strict regulations regarding weaponry of this magnitude. The Phoenix is a multi-purpose vessel, Maya countered smoothly. Defense was one priority, but we also carry extensive scientific equipment and cultural archives. Regardless, Zixtal interjected, High Command will require a full inspection of your ship and technology before determining next steps. You are, effectively, a previously unknown species as far as current protocols are concerned. Maya felt a flare of indignation. With all due respect, Sub-Commander, this ship remains sovereign United Earth territory. While we appreciate your assistance and information, we will not submit to any inspection that compromises our security or autonomy. The tension in the room thickened. Ambassador Threll's jaw plates clicked together in what might have been amusement or irritation. You speak as though your extinct civilization still holds power, Captain. Before Maya could respond, the ship's AI interrupted. Captain, sensors have detected 6 vessels approaching at high velocity. Energy signatures suggest weapons charging. The alien delegation exchanged alarmed glances. Zixtal tapped a device on his wrist. Enlightenment, report. A panicked voice responded. Void Rippers, Sub-Commander. 6 cruisers on attack vector. They've already disabled our escort vessels. Void Rippers, Jackson asked. Pirates, Threll growled. The scourge of this sector. They must have detected our ships and followed us here. Maya was already moving toward the bridge, the alien delegation following. They picked the wrong day to try their luck. On the bridge, chaos reigned as the crew prepared for possible combat. The main view screen showed 6 sleek, predatory vessels approaching rapidly, their hulls adorned with jagged red markings. Those ships are faster than anything in our database, Tactical Officer Nasir reported. Their weapon systems are charging. Energy signatures suggest directed plasma weaponry. Zixtal stepped forward. Captain Chen, the Void Rippers are the most feared pirate collective in 3 sectors. Your ancient vessel stands no chance. I strongly advise. Shields to maximum, Maya ordered, ignoring the alien. Bring main power grid online. Charge quantum batteries. The Phoenix hummed as systems long dormant roared to life. Lights brightened, and the holographic displays sharpened. They're hailing us, Santos reported. Audio only. Put it through. The harsh, grating voice filled the bridge. Attention unknown vessel. This is Captain Krasnar of the Void Rivers. Your ship looks valuable. Surrender and you may live as slaves. Resist and be destroyed." Maya smiled grimly. "Mr. Santos, open a channel." She waited for his nod. "This is Captain Maya Chen of the UES Phoenix. We are a sovereign vessel of Earth and under the protection of the United Earth Space Forces. Leave now or face the consequences." Mocking laughter answered her. "Earth? That dead rock? Your bluff is as pathetic as your outdated ship. You have 1 minute to power down before we start carving you up." Maya turned to the alien delegation. "I suggest you move away from the tactical stations. Things are about to get interesting." "Captain," Zixtol protested, "you don't understand what you're facing. The Concordat itself struggles against Ripper attacks." "Perhaps," Maya replied, her eyes hardening, "but they've never faced humanity before." She turned to her tactical officer. "Ms. Nasser, activate the Phoenix Protocol." The ship's lighting shifted to a deep red as hidden weapon ports opened along the Phoenix's hull. The aliens watched in stunned silence as systems they hadn't detected during their scans came online. "What are you doing?" Ambassador Thrall demanded. Commander Davis answered with quiet pride. "Showing you why humanity was never meant to be forgotten." The leading Void Ripper vessel fired first, a lance of purple energy streaking toward the Phoenix. It splashed harmlessly against advanced shields that shimmered with a blue-gold light. "Phase cannons locked," Nasser reported. "Fire." The Phoenix's response was devastating. Beams of concentrated energy, shifting between phases of matter, lanced out from multiple points on the ship's hull. They'd bypassed the lead Ripper vessel's shields completely, slicing through its hull like paper. Secondary explosions rippled along its length before it split apart in a spectacular detonation. The bridge fell silent as the aliens stared in shock. Even the Void Rippers seemed stunned, their formation breaking as they scrambled to regroup. "Impossible," Elio whispered. Their shields were still at full strength. "Phase technology," Chief Engineer Tanaka explained with obvious pride. "It exists partially out of normal spacetime. Conventional shields can't stop it. All Ripper vessels are changing course," Santos reported. "They're powering weapons. Looks like they're coming around for a coordinated attack." Maya nodded calmly. "Deploy graviton mines. Prepare quantum torpedoes." As the Phoenix demonstrated the full might of humanity's last warship, Maya caught the wide-eyed stares of the alien delegation. In their expressions, she read the realization that the galaxy's understanding of human capability had been woefully incomplete. The battle was brief but definitive. Within minutes, 3 Ripper vessels were destroyed, 1 was crippled, and the remaining 2 were fleeing at maximum speed. Maya turned to Sub-Commander Zixtol, whose color had faded to a pale blue. "Now about that inspection you mentioned. I believe we should discuss more equitable terms for humanity's reintroduction to the galaxy." As the implications of what they'd witnessed sank in, the aliens recognized a fundamental truth. Humanity might have been gone, but it was far from forgotten. And now it had returned, reclaiming legacy. 3 days after the battle with the Void Rippers, the UES Phoenix hovered in high orbit above Nexus Station, the regional headquarters of the Galactic Concordat. Through the viewport in her quarters, Captain Maya Chen watched the bustling traffic of alien vessels coming and going from the massive space station. The structure resembled a gleaming metal lily, with curved petals housing various docking bays and a central spire that extended for kilometers. "Their architecture is beautiful," she mused aloud. Commander Davis stood beside her, his arms crossed. "So is a spider's web to a fly." Maya shot him a wry glance. "Pessimism doesn't suit you, Jackson." "Realism," he corrected. "The Concordat High Council has been deliberating our status for 3 days. Meanwhile, we've detected 7 different scan attempts targeting our weapons systems." 8, actually, Chief Engineer Tanaka added as he entered the room, tablet in hand. "Just picked up another one trying to map our quantum drive configuration. Their persistence is almost admirable." Maya sighed. The initial shock and awe following the Phoenix's demonstration against the Void Rippers had quickly transformed into wary suspicion from Concordat authorities. While Sub-Commander Zixtal and his team had become cautious allies, the higher echelons of the Concordat clearly viewed the suddenly appeared human warship as a potential threat. "What's our status, Hiroshi?" Tanaka displayed a holographic readout. "We've restored primary systems to 92% efficiency. The quantum drive is fully operational and weapons are calibrated. We've also managed to bring the manufacturing bay online. We can produce replacement parts if needed." Maya nodded, pleased. "And the crew?" "Medical reports that the remaining command crew has fully recovered from cryosleep effects. Dr. Patel wants to begin reviving the specialist teams, but that's your call." Maya considered this. Currently, only 42 of the Phoenix's 500 crew members were awake. Reviving more would increase their capabilities, but also consume more resources. "Let's wait. Until we know where we stand with the Concordat, I want to maintain our current footprint." She turned as Communications Officer Santos appeared in the doorway. "Captain, we're receiving a priority transmission from Nexus Station. It's High Commander Vrex of the Concordat Security Council." Maya straightened her uniform. "Put it through to the conference room. Jackson, Hiroshi with me." High Commander Vrex was a Vacteri-like Ambassador Threll, but where Threll had shown a diplomatic demeanor, Vrex exuded military authority. His scales were darker, adorned with what appeared to be ceremonial scarring, and his massive form dominated the view screen. "Captain Chin," he rumbled without preamble, "the Security Council has reached a decision regarding your vessel and crew." Maya maintained a neutral expression. "We appreciate the Concordat's attention to our situation. High Commander, the Council acknowledges the UES Phoenix as a sovereign vessel and recognizes your crew as representatives of humanity, which we now classify as an endangered species rather than extinct." A small victory, Maya thought. However, Vrex continued, "Your vessel's military capabilities exceed the allowable parameters for non-Concordat members. According to Regulation 5291, your weapon systems must be placed under Concordat oversight, with appropriate limiters installed." Maya felt a chill. This was effectively a demand for disarmament. "With respect, High Commander, the Phoenix is our home and our only protection. We cannot compromise our security." Vrex's scales darkened slightly. "This is not a negotiation, Captain. The decision has been made. A technical team will board your vessel at 800 Standard Time tomorrow to begin modifications. Resistance will be considered an act of hostility against the Concordat." The transmission ended before Maya could respond. "Well," Jackson said dryly, "that was subtle." Maya's mind raced. "Miguel, get me Sub-Commander Zixtal. Private channel. Hiroshi, begin power conservation protocols. Jackson, I want a full tactical assessment of Nexus Station's defensive capabilities." When her officers hesitated, Maya raised an eyebrow. That wasn't her request. Hours later, Maya sat alone in her ready room when the door chimed. "Enter." To her surprise, it was Science Officer Elia who glided in, her luminescent form casting soft light around the room. "I apologize for the unannounced visit, Captain," the Lumerian said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But there are things you need to know, and time is short." Maya gestured to a chair. "I'm listening." Elia's luminescence dimmed slightly. The High Council's decision was not unanimous. "Many of us believe humanity deserves a place in the Concordat, not subservience to it. I appreciate the sentiment. But you don't understand," Elia interrupted, uncharacteristically urgent. "The Concordat isn't what it appears to be. It began as a coalition of equals, but over the centuries, certain factions have gained control, particularly the military and technological sectors." Maya leaned forward. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because the truth about humanity has been suppressed." Elia produced a small data crystal. "This contains records from the original Concordat archives, before they were edited. Humanity didn't destroy itself, Captain. Your species was targeted. Maya took the crystal, her hand trembling slightly. Targeted? By whom? By the precursors of what would become the Concordat leadership. Earth was seen as a threat, not because of aggression, but because of potential. Your species' rate of technological advancement was unprecedented. In just a few centuries, you went from primitive flight to quantum physics. It terrified the established powers. Maya felt the blood drain from her face. Are you saying Earth was deliberately attacked? Not directly. Your planet's destruction was engineered to appear natural, a cascading environmental collapse triggered by targeted asteroid impacts. Most of the galaxy believes it was self-inflicted. Maya struggled to process this revelation. If what you're saying is true, then the Phoenix is not alone. Elia finished. Captain, according to the original records, several human colonies survived. They've been hidden, quarantined, their technology restricted. Some within the Concordat have protected them, keeping their existence secret even from most council members. Hope flared in Maya's chest, almost painful in its intensity. Where are they? The data crystal contains coordinates, but they're encoded. You'll need to. Elia stopped suddenly, her form brightening in alarm. I must go. A security sweep is commencing. She moved to the door but paused. Captain, when they come tomorrow, they won't be installing limiters. They'll be stripping your ship and erasing what remains of humanity's achievements. After Elia departed, Maya sat motionless, the data crystal heavy in her hand. If human colonies existed, everything changed. The Phoenix was no longer just a relic, it was a lifeline. She called an emergency meeting of her senior staff, sharing Elia's revelations. This could be a trap, Security Chief Alessandra Diaz warned. Or our only hope, Jackson countered. If there are human colonies out there. The question is whether we can trust Elia, Maya said. Computer, analyze the data crystal. The AI responded promptly. The crystal contains encrypted coordinates and historical data. Authenticity markers suggest Concordat official archives, dated approximately 200 years ago. Maya made her decision. We're not submitting to inspection tomorrow. Hiroshi, I need the quantum drive at full capacity by 700. Layla, prepare defensive systems but keep them passive. Miguel, monitor all Concordat communications. I want to know the moment they realize we're not playing along. What's our destination, Captain? Jackson asked. Maya's eyes hardened with determination. First, out of Concordat space. Then, we start looking for our people. The next morning, as the Concordat technical team approached in their shuttle, the Phoenix cast off its docking clamps and began moving away from Nexus Station. They're hailing us, Santos reported. High Commander Vrex is demanding we stand down immediately. No response. Maya ordered. Evasive pattern Delta. Prepare for quantum jump. Captain. Tactical Officer Nasser called out. Nexus Station is powering weapons. 4 Concordat cruisers are moving to intercept. Time to quantum readiness. 30 seconds. Maya nodded calmly. Just like we discussed. Defensive measures only. The Phoenix deployed a series of quantum decoys, false energy signatures that confused Concordat targeting systems. When the first cruiser fired, its energy beams passed harmlessly through a holographic projection, while the real Phoenix was already 3 kilometers away. Quantum drive ready, Tanaka reported. Execute jump. The Phoenix disappeared in a flash of blue-white energy, reappearing at the edge of the star system seconds later. Jump successful, Jackson announced. No pursuit detected yet. They'll be scrambling to track us. Maya stood before the main view screen, watching as stars streaked by. Computer, begin decryption of the coordinates from Elia's data crystal. Priority Alpha. Working, Captain. Estimated completion time. 6 hours. Maya turned to her crew, her expression resolute. I know we've all carried the weight of being humanity's last survivors. Today we learned it might not be true. If there are human colonies out there, we're going to find them. If there's a conspiracy to erase our history, we're going to expose it. Commander Davis stepped up beside her. And if this is a trap? Maya's lips curved into a determined smile. Then the Concordat will learn what the Void Rippers learned. Humanity doesn't go quietly. Over the next 3 weeks, the Phoenix jumped from system to system, always staying one step ahead of Concordat pursuit. The coordinates from Elia's crystal led them to an unremarkable red dwarf star at the edge of explored space. The system contained a single habitable planet, shrouded in dense cloud cover that defied standard scanning. No Concordat presence detected. Dias reported as they entered orbit. No artificial satellites, no defense systems. Life signs? Maya asked. Uncertain. The atmospheric composition is interfering with biometric scanners. Maya frowned. If this was a human colony, why no technology? Prepare a shuttle. I'll lead the landing party. Jackson immediately objected. Captain, protocol states. Protocol went out the airlock when Earth was destroyed, Commander. This mission is too important. The shuttle descended through thick clouds, eventually breaking through to reveal a breathtaking landscape. Lush forests covered rolling hills, while in the distance, a mountain range rose majestically against a purple-tinged sky. It's beautiful, whispered Dr. Sarah Patel, the Phoenix's chief medical officer, almost Earth-like. But where are the people? Engineering specialist Zhao asked, checking his scanner. I'm not detecting any significant power sources or infrastructure. As the shuttle set down in a clearing, Maya felt a strange mix of hope and apprehension. Had they come all this way for nothing? The landing party had barely exited the shuttle when they heard it, a low, melodic tone that seemed to come from the forest itself. Seconds later, figures emerged from between the trees. They were human, dressed in simple garments of woven fabric, but their movements had an uncanny grace. One stepped forward, a woman with streaks of gray in her dark hair and eyes that held ancient wisdom. Welcome, travelers from the stars. We have awaited your arrival for generations. Maya stepped forward, struggling to maintain her composure. I am Captain Maya Chen of the UES Phoenix. We believed we might be the last humans alive. The woman smiled. I am Elder Lyra. Your ship's name is known to us from the ancestral records. You are the guardians, the warriors sent forth to ensure humanity's survival should Earth fall. You know about Earth, about what happened. Lyra nodded solemnly. We are the preserved. When the attacks came, our ancestors were evacuated. Scientists, artists, philosophers, hidden away by those within the early Concordat who opposed the genocide. For centuries, we have lived here in secret, maintaining our knowledge while appearing primitive to any who might discover us. Why not develop technology? Defenses, Jackson asked. That was the agreement, Lyra explained. Our protectors within the Concordat could shield us only if we remained technological non-entities. The moment we began advancing, we would be detected and eliminated. But now you're here, another elder added, stepping forward. The Phoenix, the vessel of resurgence, as foretold. Maya felt a chill. Foretold. Lyra gestured toward a path leading into the forest. Come, there is much you need to see. They were led to a cave entrance concealed behind a waterfall. Inside, to their astonishment, was a fully equipped technological facility that rivaled the Phoenix's own. Our sanctuary, Lyra explained, hidden from orbital scans by the planet's natural electromagnetic field, enhanced by passive emitters. The facility contained advanced computers, manufacturing equipment, and most surprisingly, a small space dock housing several sleek vessels. We maintained the knowledge, Lyra said, advancing it in theory while waiting for the day we could put it into practice. The Phoenix was always meant to find us, Captain. You carry something we need, and we have something you need. What could we possibly have that you need? Maya asked. The Phoenix Protocol, the complete quantum mechanics that power your ship. Our theories are advanced, But your ship carries the practical implementation we've never been able to test. Maya understood immediately. And what you have is numbers. People. A sustainable population. Lyra nodded. 17 colonies like ours exist throughout the galaxy, all in hiding, all waiting. Together, we number almost 9 million humans. The revelation hit Maya like a physical blow. 9 million. Not just a remnant, but enough for a true rebirth of human civilization. The Phoenix was never meant to be just a lifeboat, Maya realized. It was a seed ship, carrying the technology our species would need to reclaim its place among the stars. Now you understand, Lyra said, but time grows short. The Concordat will eventually find this world. We need to evacuate, unite the colonies, and stand together. Maya's mind raced with the implications. The other colonies, do they have facilities like this? Each specialized in different areas. Together, we have preserved the full spectrum of human knowledge and advanced it beyond what even Earth achieved. Over the next several days, the Phoenix's crew integrated with the colony, sharing information and technology. Plans were made to contact the other hidden colonies and begin a coordinated emergence. But their time ran out sooner than expected. Captain to the bridge, emergency. Santos's voice blared through Maya's communicator. Concordat fleet detected entering the system. 6 capital ships, multiple support vessels. When Maya reached the bridge, the tactical display confirmed her worst fears. This wasn't a search party. It was an invasion force. They must have followed us, Jackson said grimly. No, Maya realized. Someone betrayed us. Someone who knew exactly where to look. Her mind flashed to Elia, but something didn't add up. Why help them only to betray them? They're hailing us, Santos reported. The view screen activated, revealing not High Commander Vrex, but a Quarian Maya had never seen before. Its skin was darker than Zixtal's, almost black, with gold patterns that seemed to indicate high rank. I am Supreme Director Tortel of Concordat Special Directive, the alien announced. Your deception is ended, Captain Chen. We know this is a human colony, one of many we have allowed to exist under strict containment. Your interference has forced our hand. Maya stepped forward. Allowed to exist. You tried to exterminate our species and then hid the truth for centuries. You have no authority here. Sortel's eyes narrowed. We have every authority. Humanity was quarantined for the safety of all galactic civilization. Your technological advancement rate was deemed an existential threat. The decision, while regrettable, was necessary. Necessary. Maya's voice rose. You committed genocide. We prevented a greater catastrophe. Tortel insisted. The Phoenix itself proves our point. A single human warship defeated Void Ripper vessels that have plagued our fleets for decades. Imagine thousands such vessels, all advancing at your species' characteristic rate. Maya realized the depth of the fear driving the Concordat's actions. Not hatred, but terror of humanity's potential. You have 1 hour to surrender the colony and your vessel. Sortel continued. Otherwise, we will have no choice but to sterilize this world. When the transmission ended, Maya turned to find Elder Lyra standing at the bridge entrance. They've always feared this day would come, Lyra said quietly. That's why we prepared. Prepared how? You have no defensive capabilities. Lyra smiled enigmatically. We have something better. We have truth. She held up a data crystal similar to Elia's but larger. A complete record of the decision to destroy Earth, the conspiracy to hide surviving humans, everything, including the names of those within the Concordat who protected us. This has already been transmitted to every Concordat world and major communication hub. Maya stared in shock. You've exposed everything. The moment your ship arrived, we knew the time had come. The Phoenix is the catalyst foretold in our records, the spark that would either reignite humanity or extinguish it forever. Understanding dawned on Maya. That's why Elia helped us. She's part of the resistance within the Concordat. Lyra nodded. Many species have worked for centuries to protect us, waiting for this moment. They believe, as we do, that the Concordat has become corrupted by fear and control. The communications console chimed urgently. "Captain," Santos called, "we're receiving thousands of transmissions from throughout Concordat space. News networks, government channels, civilian broadcasts. They're all reporting on the human revelations." "And the Concordat fleet?" Maya asked. "Their formation is breaking. Several ships appear to be withdrawing." The view screen activated without prompting, showing Sortel again, but the Supreme Director appeared agitated, multiple communications happening off-screen. "What have you done?" the Quarian demanded. Maya smiled coldly. "We've done what humans do best, Director. We've adapted. We've overcome. And now we've revealed the truth your Concordat has hidden for centuries." "This changes nothing," Tortel insisted, though his confidence had clearly faltered. "We still have the military power to end this rebellion." "Do you?" Maya challenged. "Look at your fleet, Director. How many of your captains are already questioning their orders? How many of the species you've lied to for generations will still fight for you once they learn the truth?" As if to answer her question, one of the Concordat capital ships suddenly changed course, placing itself between the Phoenix and the remaining fleet vessels. "This is Captain Threll of the Concordat vessel Righteous," a new voice announced over the open channel. "My crew, and I stand with humanity and all those who seek truth. We will not participate in another atrocity." One by one, other ships followed suit, until Sortel's flagship stood alone. "This isn't over," the Supreme Director snarled before cutting transmission. Maya turned to her crew, who watched in stunned silence as the Concordat fleet dissolved before their eyes. "What happens now?" Jackson asked quietly. "Now," Elder Lyra said, her eyes bright with unshed tears, "humanity returns to the stars. Not as conquerors, but as equals. Not seeking revenge, but justice and truth." Maya nodded slowly, the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. The Phoenix had fulfilled its purpose, becoming not just a weapon or a lifeboat, but a beacon of hope for a species given a second chance. "Send word to the other colonies," she ordered. "Tell them it's time to come home." As the Phoenix orbited the planet below, Maya Chen stood at the view screen, watching the stars. Somewhere out there, millions of humans waited to emerge from hiding. A new chapter of human history was beginning, one that would be written not in conquest or isolation, but in cooperation with the diverse species of the galaxy. Humanity had been revived, and the galaxy would never be the same again.